Globally, more than 430 million pieces of malware were developed in 2015. That's more than 1 million a day. And when cyber attacks like these get through organisations' defences, they can cause millions of pounds worth of damage, with the average cost of a breach in 2015 close to $4 million. Well, to discuss how enterprises and individuals should protect themselves, I'm joined today by Laurence Pitt, Director of Global Solutions Marketing at the IT security company Symantec. I'm Sarah Lockett. Welcome to the Business Debate. Laurence, welcome to the London Stock Exchange studios.
Thank you very much. Really pleased to be here. Thank you.
The volume of cyber threats is so huge, isn't it? More than 1 million pieces of malware developed every day. How big is the problem as you see it?
The problem is as big as it's ever been, but it's only going to get bigger as well. We're seeing more intelligence going into this. We're seeing that the people who are developing these are developing more sophisticated and more complex attacks that are doing more. As much as businesses are trying to keep up, it's just a game of trying to keep one step ahead in everything that you do now.
Now, some attacks are going to get through, but then there's advanced threat protection. Tell me about that.
Well, traditionally businesses have looked to block threats, to keep them on the outside and believe that they're safe on the inside. But the reality today is that a breach is going to happen. Something will get in. Take an example, an email that gets sent to you. That email has a piece of malware. You open that piece of malware, it infects your network, it infects other people. You allowed that in. Advanced threat protection is looking across multiple points on the network. It would see that email, it would know you've been affected, and it would allow to see other people who've been affected. All of that can then be remediated in a single click because you understand the scope of the problem. That's what Symantec Advanced Threat Protection does.
And there's always going to be a time lag, isn't there, between an attack happening and it being fixed, and that's when data can get stolen. Now, what do you do once that has happened? That's
a very good question, actually, and that is very correct as well. That period of time between an advanced attack coming onto the network and actually understanding what's happened and fixing it is when everything is at risk. This is where technologies like data encryption, being able to protect information so that it's on your hard disk, on an email or stored, useless to anybody who doesn't have the correct key to unlock it, and data loss prevention technologies so that if somebody even manages to log into your machine or they trick you into sending something out which you think is okay, actually data loss prevention can look at that and say, no, this is data with credit card information or it's got names and addresses in it, it shouldn't be sent out. So it's an extra layer of protection to keep things safe.
And one of the mistakes that organisations make is they almost have too much cyber security that they've added to over the years, maybe piecemeal. And what problems does that create?
Well, we see that big organisations commonly can have more than 60 different security solutions running, but that isn't the big challenge in itself. The big challenge is that those solutions are often running in isolation, so they don't talk to each other. What you need to do is to find a way to make them talk to each other, bring the information together, because you're getting millions of alerts and you need to bring that down to a manageable number. That's where our managed security services, for example, can help, because managed security services is specialist engineers who are looking at all of these logs and alerts, understanding what's really important and taking millions down to thousands, down to hundreds, reporting that back and allowing your team to change their focus so that instead of trying to find the needle in the haystack, they're actually able to just go in with a massive magnet, pick that needle up, deal with the situation and be strategic as a resource to the business.
Now, we hear that by 2020 there's going to be a global shortage of IT security engineers by 1.5 million individuals, and that's not because they're not training for the job, it's because the job is becoming so big. So what's the solution?
Well, you're quite correct. It isn't to do with training. There's plenty of people who want to be security engineers. They want to work in cybersecurity. The challenge is that the threats and the job is becoming so much more complex. In order to address this, what businesses need to do is to look to technologies which allow them to correlate information, to take multiple sources of information and bring them together and understand something that's happened so that their engineers can be more responsive to things rather than more reactive to things. And then they're able to do their job properly when the business actually has less people to do it with.
All right, well, Laurence, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And join us next time when we'll be hearing more about the latest innovations in fintech and in healthcare. Bye for now.